Hello, it's me, Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and I've been watching a bunch of documentaries on evolution. What else? I'm an atheist, of course. Evolution is my religion, so I've been told. Now, here's what aggravates me about the religious. It isn't so much that they think that there's a literal God. I think that's just silly. The fact that they preach that there's a literal God does aggravate me. But the thing that probably aggravates me the most is they try to warp knowledge to fit their religious beliefs. And evolution is a big part of that for many, many Christians in the US. They deny evolution because they insist there is a God who created everything. And they come up with every idiotic argument for creation that you can think of. They deny evolution, but they have no other explanation other than creation, which is a dead end. It is useless. It is unhelpful. We cannot learn anything if creation were true. But evolution is true. It's been proved over and over and over for the last over 150 years. Darwin had it correct. But Darwin wasn't the originator of biological evolution that we know today. He was the one who put his name on it. He's the one who got it published first. He's the one who stepped out and said, this is what I think has happened to give us the diversity of life that we have. And he didn't start out as an atheist. He didn't start out as an evolutionist. He started out as a creationist that fully believed that there was a God. That's how he started out. But after studying life and seeing the evidences of evolution, this is what turned him against creation. Once he realized that things evolved, that changes happened over time, this is what turned him away from religion. Now, they like to say, oh, Darwin didn't have it right, it's all a lie, and they're just trying to lie to you to disprove God, and it's very aggravating because there's so much evolutionary evidence, it boggles the mind. And we're getting more and more all the time. But they're bringing up examples from 150 years ago, which even then, it's a dumb argument because Darwin made predictions about evolution that he could not have possibly have known that turned out to be true. Now here's the problem with education today. Not only is there a fight to get creationism into schools in places like Texas, and why you would teach creationism. I mean, how do you teach creation? God made everything. There, lesson done. But they're trying to fight evolution being taught. Evolution teaches us many, many things that we do need to know. But the problem with teaching evolution is that the educators try to make evolution relatable. They try to describe animals adapting to their environments, and they don't. Animals do not adapt to their environment. Species adapts to their environment. Individual animals do not adapt. They survive. They survive and have offspring. And over time, their descendants, who are the same species, adapt to changing environmental conditions. And in certain circumstances, when those environmental conditions change enough, the species changes over time. So that from one point, they're one kind of animal, and at the end, they're a different kind of animal. This is very true with whales. Whales started off as a four-legged, probably wolf-like animal, complete with hair and, big sharp teeth. And over time, through many, many thousands of generations, evolved a sea-bearing mammal. Now, why would God create a sea-bearing mammal? It makes no sense. But an animal that returns to the sea, and we see this with seals. In fact, if you look at a seal versus a sea lion, very similar animals, they are very, very different. A sea lion has hips. A sea lion has, I don't want to say evolved less, because there is no evolved more or evolved less. There's further down a specific path of evolution, but things are all equally evolved. Human beings are equally evolved from every other living thing on the planet, because there is no end game with evolution. We are all evolving, I don't want to say at the same rate, but by the same process. And we are not evolving to anything specific. The animals that evolved into whales didn't set out to turn into whales. They weren't changing into whales, just their environmental conditions. They adapted to life in the sea and they turned into whales. Just like human beings, like Neanderthal and all the other species of hominid, we evolved from the same animals that apes, other apes, gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobo, orangutans, we evolved from the same kind of animal under different conditions. And whatever conditions that we evolved under, and I'm a proponent of the idea of the aquatic ape theory, which is early humans evolved near and around water, and the conditions of living near and around water were why we became so drastically different from the other apes. But we did not evolve personally. We're not evolving as individual animals, and yes, we are animals. We evolve as a species. And animals don't decide to change. They don't make any conscious decision to change. They have offspring, and they have multiple offspring. And if you'll notice that so many animals have dozens, if not hundreds of offspring, and those that are best suited to survive in the conditions, they survive and have offspring of their own. And that's how evolution works. Multiple offspring allows those who are best suited to survive. And, that's how evolution works. It's a very simple process, but it is taught in a way that is kind of condescending. And because they teach it down, they dumb it down for people, stupid people misunderstand what is being taught to them, and they make excuses to believe in creation. I don't mean to call people stupid, but when you willfully decide that something that is fully evident is not true because it conflicts with your biblical beliefs, you're being stupid. Because a book that is hundreds and thousands of years old, and yes, the Bible is hundreds and thousands of years old. It's not the 2,000-year-old book. It's been rewritten so many times, and even the original Bible was written over decades. So these are, the Bible are, they're biblical stories. That's all they are. They're stories. And they don't even make any sense. And they don't account for anything. They don't teach you anything. Even the moral values and the moral lessons in the Bible are pretty shoddy. But evolution is real. It is happening right now. This very moment, things are still evolving. And just because you can't see the entire process for an animal to go from one form to another form doesn't mean it didn't happen. We have enough pieces along the way that we can see the transition from one animal, like a wolf, and we have many fossils that show the transition from a wolf-like animal to a whale. So we know that's what happened. It's clearly evident. And a wolf is very different than a whale. So all these bullshit assholes who say, oh, you never see a dog giving birth to a cat. It doesn't work that way. But a wolf gave rise to a whale. That's a change of species. Anyways, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and quit trying to convince yourself that evolution is not true, because evolution is indeed a fact. It is not theoretical. It is a scientific theory which has been well studied and well verified to prove that it is an actual fact. So get over it, please. Stop saying evolution isn't true. Stop calling me a liar because I say evolution is true. Because evolution is true. Okay? Can we just move on and evolve? I'll catch you next time.